Big interview time, and we got the biggest. We got the king of Supercross, Jeremy McGrath here. First of all, thanks for joining us on the family vacation through the holidays. We're all trying to fit it in, but like you said, we all love to talk Supercross. I would love, Jeremy, to ask you about Deep Field and who's going to win the title and all this stuff, but I got to go right at the heart, right off the bat. Jett Lawrence has been saying 72, 73 wins. That's a goal of his. He thinks he could do it. That would break your all-time record. When you hear that, do you laugh? Do you do angry face emoji? How do you feel when you hear someone who hasn't actually raced 450 Supercross yet setting that standard?
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm always excited to talk Supercross. I'm a fan. I think Jett is an amazing rider, and he's done already some amazing things, especially on 450, as well as his 250. But let's just talk real stuff right now. I mean, he hasn't even raced an official Supercross yet. So it's a little strange for me to hear that, to him to be talking about my records. I think when I was coming up and I was going to be racing the guys that I looked up to, I didn't look at Rick Johnson's number at 28 and go, you know what? I'm taking that number down. I think it's doable. Like I was just worried about winning a race, or even, at that time I didn't even know if I could win a race. So obviously this situation is a little bit different, but I mean, he's young enough and the possibilities are out there, but it's a lot of races.
Switching gears a little bit to Chase Sexton, you're one of the only riders that's ever won a championship and then switched manufacturers going into the next season. So as we see Chase switch to the KTM for 2024, obviously he's had a little bit more time than you did when you switched to the Suzuki. But what do you think some of the challenges are going to be coming off such high expectations? And he was the champion, right? So it feels like switching to the KTM would anything less than another championship will be a little bit of a letdown. But you having walked through that process, what do you think that's going to be like for him?
Yeah, I think it's interesting for sure. Especially the speculation going into it, right? He was Honda rider for so long, and then you hear these rumors of, and I'm sort of an outsider now, you guys, but you guys will know this better than me. But having signed with KTM such a long time ago, which was a strange situation for me to hear. Chase Sexton's an amazing rider. What he was doing on his Honda was pretty amazing. It will be cool. I think it's a different situation. I mean, when I switched that year from Honda to Suzuki, I still had no problem believing I could win. So I think he still thinks he can win. It's not a problem. However, I think, he's got some other guys in there that probably think differently, but I'm excited to see it. I mean, KTM's in a great position. We all know they can win championships and win plenty of races. So I don't really look at it as a negative, really. I think he's going to do great, and we all know the struggles he has had while leading races and stuff like that. So maybe there's a chance that some of the, this bike could fix some of that.
You have the most Supercross wins ever, but even your performance in the opener was mixed. You won some opening rounds, dominated. You had other opening rounds where you just get a seventh, but then the rest of the season was fine. Just talk about the strategy. When you're trying to win the title, everyone says, you can lose the title in the first race, but you can't win it. Talk about your strategy going in Anaheim 1 and how that might reflect with guys that think they can win the title this year and what they're planning for the opener.
Well, listen, that is a very true statement, right? You can maybe lose the title, but maybe even not. If you're dominant, it doesn't really matter. The only one who always said that is Ricky Carmichael, right? Because he didn't really like Anaheim too much. He just wanted to get back on the East Coast. For me, I was going there to set a precedent. I was going to win the race. I wanted to get everyone on their heels, going, all right, look, we got to beat this guy again. And so that was my thinking going in. Of course, it was my home race. When you go to your home race, you have a lot of energy. You get all that super power from the fans. I loved it. I thought it was great. And once I got a taste of that, I wanted it just to happen, especially at Anaheim, a lot. So, this year the field's deep. I think we've seen some changes. I'm really excited to see Eli back. I think that's going to be good for all of us. It looks like, at least from Instagram, from where I sit, he's riding pretty well. And then, of course, with Hunter and Jett and some of the new guys, it's going to be a fun season. We always go into Anaheim going, all right, there's like 10 guys, who's going to win? This year, actually, I think the field might be pretty mixed up, so I'm excited for it.
I love it. Jeremy McGrath, just a fan like anybody else. It's so cool. Looking forward to seeing you at some races too. but enjoy the family time because it's go time soon. So enjoy it while you got it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me. Happy New Year. Looking forward to seeing you guys at Supercross, and can't wait to see some battles.
All right, only one significant detail left: how to actually watch all this from Anaheim. We've mentioned it several times. We'll remind you again. We'll have a pre-race show streaming on Peacock at 4:30 local time in California. That's 7:30 Eastern with myself and Katie Osborne, who's covered a ton of different motorsports, including Supercross. She's also got a really cool F1 podcast. That'll be fun to hang out with her for our pre-race show, show you opening ceremonies. And at 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock local time, that's when the racing begins. You can continue watching that on Peacock with the Super Motocross Video Pass outside of America, or it will also air on television on USA Network again, starting at 8 Eastern. And there'll be a re-air of the racing, 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon Eastern, the next day on NBC.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.